June 21st, 2016. You're looking at the USGS earthquake map. Notice about 12 or 13 minutes apart today, at the same depth of 10 kilometers, we had a 4.9 and a 6.1 on both sides of the mid-Atlantic ridge. This particular fault is very large, guys. It runs from the northern end to the southern tip or southern edge of our planet. Now we've had another one, a 5.2. That means we're having pressure up this entire fault zone. It's actually where the Atlantic Ocean is spreading apart, moving both east and west. Tremendous pressure there, and I think it's got to do with heat. Also, the other side there, we had a 6.6. This is near the Loyalty Islands, and this one is very deep, 6.2 miles. Think about that, compared to 10 kilometers. Are they associated? I think they are, but this one we have more in the area here that we're looking at. Again, this was near the Loyalty Islands than we do on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. None of the National Buoy Center buoys are going off at this time. If you look around, all around the globe, the ones that are activated, there's no, you will see them flashing, guys, and you've seen that before. Now, one of the closer ones to this area is actually broke loose and is no longer getting information, but it's called 44401, and we've watched this thing before, but it's saying that it has stopped transmitting on 4/22/16, that it broke loose from its moorings. We don't know if that was when we had those high storms, or excuse me, the high waves, if you remember, in that area, but it broke loose and is no longer transmitting. Now, what happened is, I did a video yesterday, and I said be watching the pressure on our tectonic plates, and we had another blast. At the end of this video, you'll see actually a fourth blast today. It was picked up by the ACE satellites. You see this long blue peak on the electrons. Yesterday it was protons. They sensed it too. It was not as an intense of a peak, but after at 0400, between 0600 and 0900 hours in the chart on the right, there was a gap of information. Usually that's from an overload. What we're dealing with is extreme solar radiation coming in, not only solar, but you could say galactic radiation coming into our planet. Now, when your shields are up and everything's working normally, you have a balance of incoming solar radiation and outgoing reflected shortwave radiation. Look at this. Now, but if your shields are low, the Earth absorbs much quicker than it releases heat or infrared radiation. Again, normally it will release this heat, try to keep a balance, but again, it absorbs it much quicker than it releases it. So if you have an imbalance, then we have thermal storage in the crust of the Earth. Thus, you have more earthquakes as the heat expands the molecules, so they're excited, study it, and you have more volcanoes also. Also, you're starting to see what's called Helmholtz instability clouds, these bright red sunsets. This is out of San Francisco, California on the 20th by Mila Zinkova. Also, you're starting to see an increase of these large red sprites. Guys, if you haven't studied them, they're hard to take photographs of, but energy's coming from the upper atmosphere hitting the top of the clouds and creating the lightning. It affects sunsets, and last night, as you saw the strawberry moon, this is from Italy, from Pierluisi Grotto. You see those the changes in the sunset. But God, as we were watching this again, June 20th, look at this picture. I had to share it with you, the Solstice moon. Incredible images. You can even see the distortion of the fuel trail behind this jet. But these are the Solstice moons. Just wanted to show you that. Now, at incoming solar radiation in the atmosphere, again, 350 watts per square meter, 23% is absorbed in the atmosphere. It makes it hotter. 29% reflected. 48% is absorbed at the surface. So when you have the imbalance in the atmosphere, decrease in shields, you're going to see volcanic activity increase, these forest fires increase, earthquakes increase, droughts increase. And when you see this, it's not just geophysical effects and changes on our planet, guys. It can affect the social and the economic sections of our planet. Venezuela, I did a report a month ago. Now, with the drought and the economic crisis, 87% of the people there have no money to buy food. You're seeing the stores looted. You're seeing these trucks stopped and looted. It's gone way beyond that. But 400 people arrested after 20 shops ransacked. Food riots and looting occurred in several cities under a curfew after mass looting. It's a combination of bad economic policy, drought, and mismanagement. But the asylum seekers now in the U.S. soar as economic crisis deepen again out of Venezuela. In March, Venezuelan applicants they were more than any other place on the earth as far as applications. The food shortages there are bad. The nutritionists point to long-term health risk of low-quality food as basic staples are hard to find or being sold at exorbitant prices. It says it's taking its toll on the Venezuelans' diet. But this Guri Dam that generates 10,000 megawatts in Venezuela, also called Simon Bolivar, it is lower in the back. Some are saying it's the El Nino drought. Others are saying that because it produces 70% of Venezuela's electricity, that they have poorly managed it. In other words, just let it continue to pour more water out than was coming in. So you had a combination of drought, poor management there, and now they have rolling blackouts. And it's very hot there, so you imagine your air conditioning. Also, guys, they're limited down now on when they can actually shop. And the only shops that are open are government shops. It says the government only allows people to shop 1 day a week at a state-run supermarkets with the day predetermined by ID numbers. It says the teachers are closing the schools because they have to simply wait in line for food. They wait in line for hours for a loaf of bread and live without essentials like soap and toothpaste. Daily life has become increasingly challenging, difficult, frustrating, even humiliating. Now, they tried gun control there, but now more than half of the police killed in Venezuela capital are targeted for their guns. This was in 2015. New information is coming out that it's increased much higher than this. But it says the banning of private gun ownership in Venezuela has made firearms such a valuable commodity that 57% of police killed are targeted for their weapons. Think about that. Now, this is one city, Gran Caracas. Of the 47 police killings recorded in 2015, 27 occurred as part of a gun robbery. Think about the implications of this, guys. Strict government control. Everything. It's a communist nation. Strict gun control. The way that Hillary wants. The way that Obama wants. And the lives of the media. It affects them. It affects us. Guys, they're saying that Hillary is ahead in all the polls. What polls? These are media polls. And they're lying through their teeth. It won't be long. We'll do another poll, guys. Just that thumbs up. You thumbs up for whoever you want. Now we're down to 2 people instead of about 13 or 14 we did on the last poll. But it's a grand lie. The New World Order is shaking in their boots. We will see. It's a heads up. Be safe.